such an asshole.
Hello, children. Continuing on. Then Cappy gotta go hike. This guy want to know if he can submit a dating Christian girl story. Of course you may. You all may. I am here to make money first. Let's be okay. Here to make money by preventing you boys from unnecessary pain and suffering. That's basically what we're doing. And especially in America, because I used to date girls myself, and a lot of them were Christians, especially in America. That is the biggest false advertising there ever was. Is I'm a Christian girl. One, no the fuck you ain't. And two, you boys, oh, okay. It's really protecting you Christian boys. That's really what it is. Because you're supposed to be believing and follow these rules, and your organization, the church, has been so co-opted by vile, evil people who have no intention of following the Bible, just making money off of it. And you just get the most hypocritical, backstabbing, lying Christian girls who have no intention of actually being a loving, good Christian woman. So you guys, I'll be honest, you Christians are the biggest simps right now. You're the biggest simps and dopes out there. You're suckers. You're easy marks. You need to get some more street smarts. And you need to, are you pissed, John? Are you pissed, John? You guys need to get pissed. And you need to identify these fake ones, these fake Christian girls, which is 95%. Sorry, did I cough something? Dating a Christian girl story. When I was 20, I moved away from my hometown to a different part of the country to join the military. After a few months, I met this girl, let's call her Ashley, on a dating app. First date was great. We hit the gym together, went for a hike, and got pizza together. Before I drove off, she knocked on my car window, and she proceeded to suck my soul out through my lips. 20. The street smarts that these gals have to know they know what you guys want, and they deliver it, and you think they're delivering it because they're nice and they want to. It's like, nope, there's intent and purpose in what they're doing. An ulterior motive, one might say. Be very easy, barely an inconvenience. My dumb 20-year-old ass was hooked. We hooked up on the second date. She was inexperienced, at least from what she told me. Sure. And for what it's worth, I think she was telling the truth. The first year of dating was great. Her driving to see me at midnight to have crazy, hot, greasy monkey sex. And she was a very sweet girl. That's impressive a year. I'll tell you right now, I know somebody who's older than me that dated a gal for 2 years before marrying. And I'm like, oh, 2 years. Yeah, sure. They can't fake it that long. Right after marriage, bammo. Like, wow, you committed to that. You committed to the character for 2 years. And how do we avoid this, boys and girls, Christian or not? You don't get married. The first red flag showed up when she mentioned she'd been kicked out of her house by her parents for a while before we'd met. So a year before, you're T-1, you date for a year. She tells you before you met her a year ago, she got kicked out of the house. Okay. She wouldn't elaborate when I asked why, but I was able to ascertain it was due to her getting involved with a work friend of her father's, and if not having sex with him, at least heading that way. Her dad faced issues at work with this guy's bragging out, messing around with his daughter, and he got kicked out of the company in a few weeks. The second red flag was about a year into dating when we had an argument about Christianity. Here's where, guys, the vast majority of Christian girls don't believe it. It's an act. It's a club. They're using it for ulterior purposes. But if you dare insult their act, you ain't Jesus. Oh, yeah, he's not in your heart. I played devil's advocate and asked if she found it more likely that a virgin gave birth, or it was more likely that Mary cheated on Joseph and made the story up. All right. You want to be a dick. I'm not some hard atheist spurg, but I do question everything I hear. She lost it. Yeah. You dare question her integrity? You dare? Sir. She lost it, told me to cancel the plans we had to have friends over for dinner at her place. So I did and made plans with those friends to watch football that night at their place. She texted me last night asking where we are, and I reminded her that she told me to cancel. Good for you. She loses it and threatens to leave. That's all. There it is. Aren't there some rules? I remember somewhere, I went preacher's kid, parochial school for 7 years. I recall there being like 10 rules you follow. And then you're kind of judged on how well you follow those rules. And thou shalt not lie is one of them rules. Thou shalt not have premarital sex. That's not a rule. It's not on there. It's not the 10 Commandments. Oh, really? That's very interesting. Oh, wow. Now watch all the Christians. It says, guys. I know. You can't go to parochial school for 7 years and have dad as a preacher and not know all this shit. I'm just joshing with you. She texted me and last said that I told her that's kind of a silly reason to break up. If that's how she felt, then so be it. Good for you. You're holding your ground. Eventually, a lot of my time being wasted. Things got smoothed over and back to the crazy hot monkey sex that hooked me in the first place. Wait a minute. I thought it's not one of the 10 rules, but somewhere in the book it says no in the hanky panky before the marriage. What's going on? It's that. Wait, so she made out with you very aggressively and then sucked you dry down there and she gave you hot, crazy sex. And then if it looked like you were going to go away, then she gave you the hot, crazy sex again. I wonder if that's a pattern. You think there's a correlation there? After this, though, I became aware of a trend. In the same way a child of divorced parents will play them off each other, she seemed to play her parents and myself against one another a lot. Really? So the parents kicked her out and they're still in yeah, see, that's just. Now, one of the 4 rules I recall was thou shalt honor thy mother and father. I recall there being, that's rule. Am I wrong? Did they change the rules? Here's our gay lesbian pastor. Yeah. Oh, so there's no rules at all. This is just a club. This is the happy go time feel lucky club. Who's that guy nailed to the plank of wood on the wall? I don't know. There's some guy. Kind of creepy though. We should get rid of him. He's a dude. Complaining to them about me and me about them. Needless to say, this gave her parents an overly and inaccurate negative view of me. Her mother is one of the few women I've met who truly does not live in the real world. One of the few women I've met who truly does not live in the where are you meeting women? Wait, what? A few? A few. Oh, she doesn't work and spends nearly all of her husband's handsome salary on useless things. Thou shalt have no other gods before me? But she likes things. She has an addiction to hoarding animals. Yes. And then you mentioned that they have an obscure animal living in the house to the point where, despite her husband making over 6 figures, they are in debt, and she was a single mom before she met her current husband. But Jesus forgives. Is she a Christian too? If there's one thing I wish I could convey to you young Christian men out there, is how you need to get a lot more street smart. See, you're playing a very difficult game. You're playing 2 games. You have to obey a set of rules that is Christianity, but that doesn't take you out of the secular or natural world, right? You still got to play with the secular world, right? By their rules. So it's like you're playing on a handicap. Like you got to play by the just, regular laws of America and the social rules and all that of culture and society, secular culture and society. And then you also must adhere to these other rules. So your hands are tied behind your back. And you get fucked over, man. You guys get hoodwinked because all the girls got to do, Christian pussy, look, oh, me. Oh, look, I'm a good Christian girl, but I have sex by you. But me, Christian pussy, like, I love her. Wham! And now there's obscure animals living in your house. You guys need to play both games. And I would say, look, have a nice personal relationship with God. Okay, that's all that matters. You need to learn the secular rules first and realize there are not real Christians, specifically women, who will fake being Christians to get shit out of Christianity, but they are in practice, in reality, secular. They are only Christian in name. And it's a layup for them. Like, you guys are so desperate for some pussy, Christian pussy at that, and God's going to provide. You got your dopey Christian leaders. Don't you have faith? The Lord will provide. Let me tell you, little inside baseball. See, I'm practically next to God, and I don't mean in terms of value or anything. Let me tell you, like, my old man was a pastor, which means he had God on the phone all the time, and I could sometimes Dad would give me the phone. I could talk to God. All right. And hi, God. Hey, you little piece of shit. Don't fuck up. Like, okay, God. He's very much more direct. And I got him on the phone one time. And he says, all right, Aaron, I'm going to level with you. I'm like, yeah. And he says, the meek shall inherit shit. The Lord will provide jack shit. I said, okay, God. He said, all right, don't tell anyone. I just fucked that up. He's not going to provide you anything. He's not going to provide you anything. Especially not good, obedient Christian girl pussy. He's not going to provide you that. Not in this country. But I don't care what the book says, what your pastors say. You all better start playing the rules of the real world and the secular world, especially when it comes to dating, because that's what those girls are playing by. Just because they have the jersey that says JC on it doesn't mean they're actually on Team JC. And that's how you end up with an obscure animal in your living room and living paycheck to paycheck despite your husband making six figures. This negative view is what I believe led to her mother working to sabotage our relationship, pushing Ashley to try to break up with me, giving reasons like, I need someone who shares my faith. Oh, they abuse the religion? So their entire actual actions are antithetical to Christianity, antithetical to being a good Christian. But when they need something from you, whether it's, I don't know, money, finances, or to win an argument, then they break out the Bible. I just don't see Jesus in your heart. You got someone with an obscure animal. You got a lying girlfriend, and now they pull out the Christian card. Oh, now I'm not a 10, but I make good money. And at the risk of sounding arrogant, I'm in the top 5% of men in terms of muscularity and physical attractiveness due to my ethic in the gym. I fix my own car, ride a motorcycle. I've never been told I'm bad in bed. I would say Ashley and I were at least on par in sexual market value. All this wasn't enough for Ashley as I wasn't a devout Christian. That's the excuse. That I haven't read through your whole thing. Maybe you'll realize it. But you understand my overall point. And that's why we do these Christian dating girl stories is they're not Christian. They abuse and lord the religion over you, perhaps more serious Christian men. Or I guess in your case, you haven't said you're Christian. You guys think, oh, this is a Christian girl, she'll be better. And they lord that over you to make you wake up and realize in doing that, they are abusing and using Christianity as an ulterior motive. And God and Jesus ain't even factoring into their shit, right? You have this secular, very not Christian behavior. But this is the biggest weakness of Christianity. You just let every dopey dipshit in. Like, oh, but Jesus forgives. Oh, let's let the murderers in and the single moms and the family destroyers and the thieves and the liars. Let them all out because he forgives. You go, oh, Jesus forgives. Like, you should have a little, like there should be a bouncer Christianity with a rope. Like, who the fuck are you? I don't mean this catechism bullshit. Like, who the fuck are you? Well, as I paid for forgiveness. I don't know. You're still sleeping with that guy over there. Or, yeah, you're still doing that over there. You're not in the club. But when it's false advertising. It's a bait and switch. It's a thin veneer of paint that's going to flake off in a month or two, and they're just trying to hook you in. And then, of course, when it comes to the breakup, it's not anything forthright and all that. Like, you're holding me at standards and I'm pissed off. You're making me work and pay for my own shit. I don't like you because I'm spoiled, entitled brat. It's, I don't see Jesus in your heart. Okay. So are you going to realize that's the shtick? That's the bait and switch here? At some point after the sabotage began, her mother pushed her towards pursuing a man at the church. Not an ugly guy, but definitely not a threat to me under normal circumstances. Dead-end job, not in great shape, etc. But he was a Christian. Again, I still got a ways to go on this story. Let me guess, they end up divorced. Or there's hell in the relationship. I guarantee you she didn't submit to him. While I was deployed later that year, her mother pushed her to cheat on me with this man. All right, so again, having sex outside of marriage. I only found out because her nutless father finally extracted one of his testicles from his wife's purse and told me man to man. I told, what's this guy doing? Wait, where's the fight? See? So he's a Minnesota man. He's a Minnesota father. And I don't mean he's in Minnesota. I mean, that's your typical Minnesota father. A ballless fucking nutless wonder. If that's a Christian family, because her mom was sending her up with the Christian guy at church, and this, well, she's not submitting to her husband because there's an obscure animal in the house. There's no financial control. He's never told her no. And he's not saying you're going to knock this shit off. Where? Show me where that's like a legit old school by the book Christian family. You show me where it's all fake. It's all fake. The mom doesn't believe it. The dad doesn't have the balls to enforce it. I bet you he married her because of pussy. I bet you that's it. You think? Look, here's another thing. Christian men. When God is a bigger God than pussy is in your life, things might start getting fixed. Okay? Free asshole consulting, huh? Should do preacher's kid consulting. I'm sorry, you got fraggy hurt feelings, okay? But until you see here, let me show you your instruction manual. Have you seen this? It's called the Holy Bible. It's got everything in here, right? And it says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." That includes pussy. Well, then you're not a Christian. Go find one of them church-looking buildings with the gay pride flag on it. Go there. Join the Elks. Join. There's nothing wrong with that. Go. You're not a Christian. But he was a Christian. I told Ashley to find her own way home and left blocking her everywhere I could. Turns out the guy from her church was a creep and did satisfy her. There's some fake male Christians too. They think, I'm going to get myself some play here. When you guys, when you're done having women leading the church, let us know. When God leads the church, hey. But right now, you got a bunch of women just dangling their pussy in front of all you Christian boys, like, oh my God. There's this, I don't know if you heard about this. It's in that instruction manual. There's this thing called bail. I don't know if you knew about it. The Israelites, some bad things happen. We should just, somebody, South Park, the guys who do South Park, that'd be great, where you reenact Baal and the Israelites, except instead of Baal, it's just pussy. And that would be such a slap on your face that you guys need right now. That was fun. Turns out he was a creep. He even stalked her when she stopped speaking to him, apparently. So she made an email and got a hold of me here, and I made a big mistake. I allowed her to stick around as a plate under the condition that she only slept with me and allowed me to sleep with whoever I wanted. No. No. I mean, yeah, I appreciate your angle you're going there, but no, this is an unreliable, feral human being. I presume at this point in time, you didn't give a shit whether she was, trademark Christian trademark. I know it was stupid, but I did love this girl at one time. Oh, you were 20, weren't you? And I thought, hey, there's no risk to me if she turns it around and maybe there's something there. Horrible decision. She couldn't stick to the agreement. You mean the lying sack of shit posing as a Christian didn't turn around and also become a good? Really? Oh, allowed me to sleep. Some horrible decision. She couldn't stick to the agreement and began getting into a partying lifestyle. Hooked up with a couple guys and lied to me about it. All the while preaching to me about how she wanted a man with a faith in God. I can imagine those she cheated with only had faith in getting pussy. There. See, us secular men, we at least admit our Lord and Savior pussy is our one and only God. We don't say, "Oh, it's actually Yahweh or God or Allah." But it's really pussy. No, we're like, no, it's pussy. I don't know. Maybe there is a God or not. I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet. In the meantime, I'm pretty interested in this over here. When I found out about all of this, we had a huge argument. She called the cops on me, lied to the cops saying how she felt unsafe. No, do you see lies? Really, the patterns of lies continued, and you were surprised. I never touched her. We never moved like I was going to touch her. Nothing. The cops didn't care, and now I have to pay for a lawyer, wasting my hard-earned money. Anytime I'd question her behavior and ask, how can you do these things and still tell me I'm not a good enough Christian? She'd shut down. Right, because you busted her. Truly, this woman did not live in the real world. No. Look, dude, and here's the final thing I'll say about the Christian girls. You have vile, despicable human beings, both male and female, but in this particular case, women, who abuse Christianity because of the forgiveness it provides. According to some creature out there called Jesus, he forgives you for your horrific behavior. And that's why most of your single datings groups is filled with a bunch of single moms who've ruined at minimum the children's lives, very likely the father's lives, whether they were married or not. This is why you go in there. You don't find very Christian-like behavior. You see vile people abusing Christianity because you let them into the club, and then they feel good about themselves. And it's especially among, I better be careful what I say. Please watch my video on the perfect mental state. That's what it is. Women, the number one thing in women's lives, in general, not all, is the perfect mental state. And the perfect mental state, which we got to review it again, is that what they want, they must, the most important thing in their lives is believing that they can get what they want at the expense of what is possible and what they're going to get in the real world, right? They will remember the gal that thought Brad Pitt, she's a 58-year-old woman, and Brad Pitt was texting her and he asked her for $1 million. She gave it. She gave up on her family and children and career and gave the scam artist $1 million. How many times have you said, hey, that man is not right around the corner. You got to lose weight. No, they would rather live in the mental state that I can be fat. I can sleep around and be a whore. I can lie. And then I'm still a good Christian. I'm still a good person. And Christianity enables that through the forgiveness aspect. I can be a despicable, vile human being in personal action, but I'm still a good person because Jesus forgives. It's like the cementing or the christening or the ironclad trap or lock that allows them to continue on with the perfect mental state. And so when you said, it's no different, some overweight woman giving you advice on health, you say, why would I take advice from you? You're overweight. They shut down. You need to lose weight to find guys. You are disturbing the perfect mental state. And when you said that's not Christian, you disturbed the perfect mental state. And what you also caught her in a hypocrisy. What are you going to do when you're caught? No hypocrisy. You have no argument. Truly, this woman did not live in the real world. To summarize, this relationship was a complete nightmare. I'm still dealing with the consequences of it today. Many of these Christian men are liars with no intellectual honesty who selectively use the Bible to manipulate men. That is an outstanding and well-written sentence right there. And I'm going, and we're on case number 9 now, and I'm going like, no, really? You think so? This is why maybe I should do a video or a course on secular rules for Christian men because you guys are just getting obliterated. You're getting destroyed by these fake posers. Yeah, it's and the church is getting destroyed as well. But that's what happens when you worship a false god. Pussy. How about here? I got an idea. Somebody, not me, go get the hymnal book, right? Go get the hymnal book, get the Bible. Or why don't you just do a find replace anytime it mentions God or Jesus? You just put pussy in there, and then we'll just reissue all the new Bibles and hymnals, and that'll be more accurate of what you Christians worship, right? Right? Especially you pastors, right? Because you guys are like, oh, the women come first. Oh my God. Well, who's this guy on the cross? I don't know. But women. Oh my God, you're praying with them. Are all the pastors like David Hogue? Are you all like weak, limp-wristed pussies? What? I hope this can help someone in your audience avoid my mistakes. Well, that's why we're doing it. It is a vector, an attack vector. Sorry for the length. Did my best to break it up in a way that makes sense. Thanks, Claire. We'll keep you anonymous. I'll tell you the story again. This is one of many where, I went through like this 2.5-year period where I was just a lot of Christian girls, and all, not some, all were hypocrites. One of which, I don't even know if she was in my dance class. We ended up dating a little bit. Never made it beyond like the third date. We go on a date. First thing, oh, by the way, single mom, of course. She's like, well, I don't have premarital sex. I'm very serious about my Christianity. I'm like, okay. And I was young enough to not know, like, well, I'm not going to waste the next 2 Friday nights I have on a date with you. But I was like, yeah, sure. Okay. You're not going to have sex, right? Second date, I forgot what it was. Third date, Thanksgiving. She's like, do you want to come over for Thanksgiving? And I was, working security and all that. But it was like this opening. And I'm like, yeah, I would appreciate a good meal. So we go there. Let us pray. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Bless you. Thank you for and I want to say, a guy, protect him and this and that. And I want to say, hey, I talked to the old man on the line back when I was a kid. Yeah, he says he won't provide shit. So it's all up to me. So we don't have to thank him for this fucking food. Or the protection. That's up to me. And then after that, I was like, yeah, this isn't going to go anywhere. So then years later, I'm talking to a buddy of mine. I hadn't seen him in a while. I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? Hey, what's up with you? And, oh, this and that and this. And we're just catching up. And I was like, yeah, I ran into this gal and da-da-da. And I gave the details. He's like, I can't even remember this girl's name. It wasn't Jessica. Her name wasn't Jessica. It wasn't Jessica such and such. I'm like, it was Jessica such and such. And he says, like, I banged her like 2 months ago. I'm like, you son of a bitch. She thought you were like, what? Wait a minute. I got Jesus refereeing between me and her. And he's like, oh yeah, sucks to be you. I'm like, oh, you fucking dick. And ladies, you can go ahead and you're allowed to say whatever you want in the comments. The empirical data is I have never, except twice, dated Christian girls who were actually Christian and intellectually honest. They were all frauds. They were all, at the end of the day, secular women abusing the religion, hoodwinking or attempting to hoodwink me and all the other guys. I can't imagine what it's like to actually get married to these gals who fake it, have non-Christian behavior. Now they have a random animal living in the house, horrible finances, do not submit to the husband, do not submit to God, and then use the religion itself to lie, to get away with murder, and above all else, protect their petty feelings. Guys, go find yourself, what's the word? Orthodox. Find Hasidic Jews. Find dedicated Muslims. Find a good, if it's hard, but there are atheists or agnostics who have good moral, ethical balance. This is, again, I'll tell you, it's the number one variable. What did she major in? Is she an accountant? Is she a tradeswoman? Oh, so she's realistic and supports herself? Forget what they say. I don't care what religion they're in and how much they love the Jesus. Is she an engineer? She a software program? She a doctor? She a nurse? I know a lot of you disagree on the nurse thing, but it's a real job. Or is she a teacher? Or does she play piano? Did she work in a nonprofit? There's your devil. There's your lazy sack of shit who don't want to work. And when you start seeing red flags like that, oh, she got kicked out of the house, guys, and surprise, to protect her ego, she calls the cops. There are real consequences, guys, real consequences. And I don't even think this guy was a Christian. I can't imagine how easily and hoodwinked you Christians are by this stuff. Men. So I'd stop. Worship God, not pussy. There, I should write a book. Hang on. Worship God, not pussy. God, why do I got to be a better pastor than your pastor? Worship God, not pussy. The book by the preacher's kid. Oh, that'd be fun. I love my job. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a frou fucking coffee right now after this. All right. I got to make one more video. Then I'm going to go fucking hiking. All right. And then I will make enough money with the super chats and the ads on this video that it's like me. Ironically, it's like being a pastor. You get like a collection plate. It's kind of the same thing. My old man, I was joking with him. He was trying to understand like super chats and stuff. I said, well, yeah, it's kind of this new thing. And they give me money, to ask their questions or answer their questions. And sometimes they just donate money. He's like, they give you money? He's like, you're full of bullshit. And I looked at him and I say, well, you were a pastor. You did that like 30 years ago. He laughed. He's like, touche, touche. Oh, I can run circles around you guys all day. Oh. Worship God, not pussy. The latest book by Cappy. All right. There you go. Thank you for the warning. Thank you for it. And if you guys have dated Christian girls and girls, and for those of you, I got a nice Christian, you send them. We have like one or two. We're like, no, I met a great Christian gal. She's wonderful. We'd like to hear it, but I'm kind of sorry. Right now, 95% of the girls who are Christian, no, you're not. You're really not. Let's go to the super chats. Reed Schwartz, $5. The reality for us Christian men, MGTOW is your most likely route. Isn't that just replacing one God with the next? Like MGTOW, you're still defined by by women. It just happens to be the absence of. Not religious, but man, there's a tremendous amount of wisdom and philosophy in the Bible. And Reen, if you are Christian, dude, I would celebrate the fact you got a good relationship with God. You believe in God. You believe in the afterlife. And everything is listed in that book that explains it to you. That would be like, wow, I actually got a relationship with God, I wouldn't even worry about the girls at that point. And then like, truly, like, okay, that's kind of in your hands, God. I got shit going on. I'm going to work and I'll go to church. Listen to some podcasts. But yeah, if there's a girl, you let me know. But that's your jurisdiction. I got things to do. Paul talks about this. You almost can't follow your principles if you want to date. Yeah, thorn in the side or thorn to remove the thing or the plague. Wisdom Vision Productions, $2. I don't have time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit. No, you don't. You don't. Like just the headache alone. I know he's 20 and horny, but God Almighty, the headache alone. Just like, no, man. No. Magnum Opus, $5. A woman should never have to tell you twice you're not for her. Right. Well, one could ask what her true motivations were. I don't know. Attention. Maybe he was great in bed. I have no idea. But yeah, telling you twice you're not for her. Like, okay, bye. Reen, again, $5. Chasing good Christian women is the same as chasing the top 5% we complain about with women. We are both just as likely to succeed. How would you know it's the top 5% even? Right? I get these different ads. What they are is they're ads on Twitter. And the number of wife, mom, Christian, Second Amendment, flag. And she's this hot thing. Don't DM me. And all this American flag. And is jingoistic the right word? Is that the correct use of the word? And I'm like, and you guys would think, oh, here's a gorgeous Christian woman. No, it's fake, guys. That's exact. They're monetizing Christ. That's, what is it? They're simonry. Those are the bankers and the tradesmen in the temple. They just happen to have a cute set of tits and the internet access. That's all it is. Wizard Vision Productions, $5. I'm sorry. Getting back to your point, Reen. They're not, and at any point in time, look, you're a real Christian girl. You want to find a real Christian man. You girls are going to have to go and make your intentions known. That's what it is. And yes, you're going to have to lose weight. Your body's a temple. Knock it off with that shit. The Lord will provide for me. That's one thing that infuriated me about running those fake Christian girls, is just the amount of, that's a whole other topic, is how women use Christianity to abdicate responsibility. That is kryptonite to women. And man, the Lord has a plan. The Lord will provide. It's not my fault. Nothing. I'm just a twig in the river. And the Lord, you guys see the meme? It's a girl praying, "Dear God, send me a man." And then Jesus said, I sent, a man who's handsome and good Christian and da-da-da. And the guy says, "I sent you one." And then the girl says, "Yeah, but he was 5'9". It's Jesus going, oh. Dude, what's the axiom? What's the rule? The presence of religious rules do not negate or remove the secular rules. Is that kind of, just because you're religious doesn't mean you don't have to play by the secular rules. The secular rules are there no matter what. I would say, because the world is not all Christian, you have to abide by the secular rules, because the whole world isn't Christian. Or it's, the laws of physics are a-religious. They just are what they are. But just because you believe in that particular religion doesn't make the laws of nature go away. Wisda again for $5. What do you think is more addictive substance, white girl blood or poo? Ooh, good question. The pussy. It's genetic. I know laziness is also genetic, but you cannot underrate the male sex drive. White girl blood is just the belief that you can major in whatever you want and get paid a living wage for it. That is an addictive idea. It is addictive to all people. But I gotta say, the pussy is more. High Plains Warrior, $2. This is my indulgencia to the church. Is that Catholic? Indulgencia. What is that? In the context of the Catholic Church. Yeah, once you start seeing Latin for indulgence refers to remission before God for the temporal. Oh, yeah, and buying indulgences. Sure. There's that bullshit. I was a despicable piece of shit. Here's some money. Oh, it's good now. And your Hail Marys and your buttons. Colin K, $5. I was astray in my 20s. I've been redeemed. I'm ready for a good man to take care of me and my kid. Finding Jesus as a flavor of hitting the wall. There's money to be made here, guys. There's money to be made for secularists such as myself to write a real come to Jesus meeting for Christians to read, like, oh, hey. What if we, hear me out, we start playing the Mission Impossible theme song, right? And we get a crack team of people together, the Mission Impossible force. But instead of saving the world and all that, we just infiltrate churches and remove the crucifixes and just put equally big, whatever, wood carvings or artwork of pussies up there instead to send a message. Dun, 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 dun. Stan the Milkman, 15 Australian. I dated a Christian girl for over a year. It was great while it lasted. She was valedictorian of a Singaporean school. Oh, so that's legit. And top 5% of her med class at 13 years younger. She was suspiciously good at BJ. Well, what? Hang on here. I know. There's some hypocrisy. I get it. But the 12th commandment is thou shalt not give BJs. That's not on the 10 commandments. That's not in the rule book. What happened? It seemed like one to hold on to. Magnum Opus, $5. I love her equals I'm infatuated. He learned a lesson a lot of men never recover from. Accepting reality is less painful than believing her or your lies. Yep. Chase Robideau, $5. Most Christian men play fast and loose with fool me once, fool me twice, 5 times later, never learning. Well, see, but it's the perpetual get out of jail card. You gotta forgive me. You gotta forgive me. You gotta forgive me. I'm sorry. I've heard Jesus forgive me. Why can't you forgive me? Like, no. Again, like with the vengeance of God, you Christian men should be taking secular rules like the golden rule and just with a vengeance enforcing it. I don't give a shit what the Bible says. That's fucked up. Well, then you go pray to Christ. Yeah, Jesus forgives you. I don't. I guess that makes me a good man. He stabs him. Well, maybe not such a good man. Stabs him again. Maybe I'm just a man. Like, yeah, I'm not a good Christian. Just be okay with it. And you could say, and then you could turn around and say, yeah, and Jesus forgives me for not being a good Christian. Stan the Milkman, 8 Australian. When I asked why she didn't date guys in her church, she called them weak boys. God will provide, so why go to the gymza? Right? Good point, Stan. Good point. See, and then they do want to have a real masculine man. That's secular. It's just how it goes. Just how it goes. All right, there you go. Link below, the book of Numbers analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. If you Christian dopey types, the Lord will provide. That's cute. Now go read that book, which is basically the statistical numbers from the secular world, Christian or not, of what women's interest in you really is, at least here in the United States. And then if you could combine that knowledge with your Christian principles and come up with a good Christian abiding strategy on dating, I think that's going to make some great progress. And you know what? Maybe it just isn't your time. The Lord, 40 years wandering in the desert, that's a long time. Maybe this is something similar, 40 years, a generation or two wandering in the desert. It's happened before. All right, there you guys go. Link below. See you guys later. Toodles.